Hello, Diana. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thanks a lot for this wonderful opportunity to interview you.
Thank you.
So, friends, we have Diana here. Let me tell you a bit about her. She is a professional operatic soprano, model, and actor, co-facilitator of group coaching with Derek Redall's Impact Program 2021 program. She is a clinical hypnotherapist and all chemical hypnotherapist actively practicing in Los Angeles and live online. She is also a priestess of the oral fairy tradition of the cells, an ordained minister, Karamai, Reiki, Siashim practitioner. So, to know more about Dana, about her journey from her own words. So, Dana, welcome again, and
Thank you.
I'm super excited to know more about your journey. So, how did you get into alchemical hypnosis?
Thank you. Well, I have a background in metaphysics. My great grandparents were taking my mom to seances to meet with the spirit world and getting her in touch with her spirit guides. And so I grew up believing in the spirit world and learning about different spiritual traditions, which led me to study different types of spirituality. And I had a resonance with Native American shamanism in particular. And my spiritual teacher was a medicine woman and also a Druidic high priestess. So she was a Celtic Druidic high priestess, and her name was Mary Weber Spiritwind. And she was also a hypnotherapist.
Wow.
So my life and some of the struggles I had were healed initially with shamanism and learning about how to heal through the medicine wheel. And when my teacher passed away, I was a priestess and I was doing ritual and I was doing Reiki and group meditation, but I wanted to make more of an impact with people. And I was looking for something else that I could do that would be helpful and really have a deep healing transformational process with people. And I thought about how my teacher was also a hypnotherapist and how she was able to work with a shamanism with hypnosis. And I was looking at a couple different schools, and there's one in LA that's really popular, a clinical school. And my friend, who was my spiritual teacher's best friend, who's also a shaman, Diane Creswell, said, "What about the Alchemy Institute? It's more shamanistic and more spiritual." I'm like, "Whoa, what is this?" So I looked him up online and I saw how much I resonated with the school and how it would help me and also help me with my music and my opera being more successful as a performer. And I called the number and I talked to Pat, and we just spoke for hours and about alchemy, and it was such a good fit that I enrolled right then and there.
Wow.
And that's how I discovered the Alchemy Institute.
Amazing, amazing.
Thank you.
So, Dana, let's get into your experiences with alchemical hypnosis. Huh? So did it help you in improving your relationship with yourself or others, like any relationship related experiences? Huh? Could you please share?
Definitely. So one of the things after I trained, initially, I went back 2 other times for more training. And the second level of training I did involved healing with sexual healing from sexual abuse with Linda Baker, who's a master alchemist and teacher at the Alchemy Institute. And I had spent a lot of my healing process in clearing sexual abuse from childhood. And a lot of people say that you can't heal that. And I did a lot of shamanistic work healing that in the past. So in the class, I was the demonstration or the test dummy, so to speak, because I was the one woman that had never really had like a long-term serious relationship or any kids, or I just never met my match. And so we did a clearing of not just sexual abuse, lingering sexual abuse, but a whole clearing of the collective unconscious of sexism and violence that perpetuates sexual abuse. And it seemed like I was just clearing, like throughout time, all this sexual abuse and perpetrators. And it really seemed like it was like interdimensional. And I was so amazed at how clear and how clean I felt, like I felt like all of this weight had been lifted off of me, and also other women, and also generational. It just seemed like a done deal. And
oh my God.
yeah, it was amazing. And it was like, wow, this really feels like this is in the past. And since then, I was able to meet somebody and be engaged for about a few years, 3 or 4 years, and we're still really good friends. And it was someone that I really resonate with, and it was really a blessing, because I had never been in a relationship where it was so effortless to meet and date and actually get to that level. So it was really profound.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Right. So, Diana, let me ask you one more question, an extended question related to it, because many times I have seen people talking about, wow, that was an amazing experience. It was very deep healing and etc. And then what unfolded next after healing this? If you could share your experience also, it will help audience and viewers to understand, okay, right, Diana has experienced a very deep chemical hypnosis healing session.
Mhm.
What happened next? If you could share
So,
that also, it will help.
yeah, so I, in my experiences as a woman and as a performer, I would have some unsolicited attention. And I'm not going to say I don't get any attention in the arts or anything like that, or but it seemed to me that I was not having as many experiences where I felt like victimized, where I felt way more empowered and in my body, more solid, more able to feel like I was protecting myself and setting better boundaries. And so in setting better boundaries and not accepting things that weren't right for me, it just seemed that in my life, things were just getting just so much more clear, more direct, more empowering. And I haven't really felt that anything has happened where I'm feeling like a victim in that sort of situation, in a sexual abusive situation. So that was wonderful.
Awesome. And did you get to meet anyone?
Oh yeah, so I did end up meeting my fiance, and it was really awesome. It was an effortless relationship. It was the first relationship where I didn't have to wonder if somebody liked me, or they're gonna call. Do they like me? Do they not like me? There wasn't any uncertainty. We just met and we got along really well. And he is also a twin. I'm a twin. So we had a lot of resonance together. So
Awesome.
that was wonderful.
Yeah, this is what. Thank you for sharing what unfolded after the deep healing session. Thank you very much. And could you
Thank you.
please share any of your past life related experiences with respect to alchemical hypnosis? Anna?
Yes, it's amazing. So I've had so many different past life discoveries, and many of them have been as a male, not all of them, but I've been also a Celtic priestess in another life as well, and an Egyptian priestess. But there was one where I went to discover why I was having some reoccurring issues in my life, and just kind of not really having much fortune or abundance that I feel like I deserve, for the effort I put out, with work and different things. And so I was also a class demonstration, and David Quigley, our teacher, he was giving me the hypnosis, and I went back to where I was a male, and I had done wrong with these women. And they were really beautiful women. They were talented and gorgeous with jewelry, and they were just really beautiful. And I had broken their hearts. I had betrayed their trust. And David had me dialoguing with this one woman, Rose is her name, or was her name. And I was horrible. And the past life personality was very misogynistic. The past life personality, my name was Michael back then, and Michael didn't think he owed Rose anything. He broke her heart. He got her pregnant even. And I was just adamant that I didn't owe her anything. And I remember this personality being very sexist and misogynistic and like just arrogant. And I didn't want to apologize. And David Quigley was like coaching me on apologizing and helping and having me atone for what I had done. And it was so interesting because in this life I've been a feminist, and I would never even think I would be something like that. So it shows that how our past lives, how we can just be the things that we don't even like, or now, like how different, and how we just grow through these experiences. And when I was getting asked many questions about how I treated the women that I had wronged, there was a lot of introspection that my past life personality had to delve into in that moment. And it turns out that I actually was gay. I was a gay man, and I was closeted because it wasn't accepted in that time period for me to be gay. And that was really interesting because I wouldn't have known at first until David had asked me more questions about who I was and, my motivations. And I could see like, well, yeah, I did like these women. They were, but not in that way. And so it was fascinating to me to be in that time period of where, I was so closeted, and I, didn't have my own inner needs met in that life. So we brought Michael back to teach me how to be more business savvy and be able to do some things and just be more clever, and also to have him come back to Los Angeles, because you could be a gay man here in Los Angeles in 2000. I don't remember the year now, but whatever, in the 2000s, and just live his life. And it was just huge surge of energy that came back with me.
Oh, okay. So was there any internal resistance or shock to know about your sexual orientation, and how comfortable you were then when you came to know that you were a gay man?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Okay, so I grew up with many gay men in the community. When I was a teenager, I lived in Silver Lake, which was it was a community with all kinds of gay and lesbian businesses and nightclubs, and it was something that I was used to, and also,
Okay.
you know, so it was actually cool. I wasn't shocked at all
Okay.
about that. So,
Awesome.
and then, you know, yeah, so it felt really normal and right for me. I could
Wonderful.
have that infinity.
Because the reason for asking this is there are many society norms, and that too, being it a past life experience means at that time it would have been even more difficult to live and sustain with such sexual orientation. So that's the reason I wanted to know about how was your experience in doing it. Okay, so moving on to next question, Dana, did you have any experiences meeting your spirit guides and all that stuff in your in alchemical hypnosis journey?
Yes, definitely. I have different spirit guides. I
Mhm,
have, that's very interesting. So my inner mother
mhm,
is White Buffalo Calf Woman, and she's a holy woman of the Lakota people, and she brings the sacredness of the pipe. And I was familiar with her, but I didn't realize she would come and be my inner mother. And it was very healing for me, because I feel like I can be in to, you know, I can remember to be in right relation and remember more about my path when I think of the White Buffalo Calf Woman. And I really need to actually give a lot more well, I'm already doing the medicinal teachings, but I really I'm hoping to learn more about the wisdom of her. So it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of like um something that I could apprentice further
mhm.
in. And also my inner father is, I have two. So Jesus came to me,
Mhm.
and I didn't grow up Christian. I did go to some Christian church, but it wasn't like I was a Christian. So that was something that was really that was surprising. But I always feel Jesus's presence, and with a lot of compassion whenever I ask Jesus for anything. And also my grandfather I never met.
Wow.
He passed away before I was born, and he was a concert pianist. And I didn't get to meet him, but when I've been on stage or when I've been needing help with music, I'll talk to him. But he is my inner father.
Wow.
So that was lovely. And then I have Sir Vincent, who's a knight, and he's my inner mate. And I really resonates with knights and that type of serving that the knights do. And he's helped me be more in touch with right relation and relationships. Gosh, oh, and then I have my inner healer. My inner healers are Mary Weber, Spirit Wind. That was my teacher, that was the medicine woman and
Mhm.
Druidic High Priestess. And she is there at all of the somatic healing, inner healing sessions, and with me. And whenever I do any kind of healing work, she's there, and I could just feel her hands, and I could just feel her presence. And there's an Egyptian pharaoh named Zoser, who is an inner healer too. And he came to me. He always comes to me, but he's oversees the spiritual group Astara that I was baptized in. But he was there when I was hit by a car, and he's always been there. So I know that he's around when I do this inner healing in the alchemy, somatic healing.
Wow. Beautiful. It's lovely to know about your guides, Dana. You have fabulous guides.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. And tell me a secret about you that you do something called birthday blessings.
Oh, birthday blessings.
Yes. Now it's no more secret, okay? So please tell me more about it.
Definitely. Okay, so in the birthday blessings, I like to do the alchemy journeys for any season or any special occasion. So last week was my 50th birthday.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's my 50th birthday, and so I did a meditation, and I've done this before. I also did a huge one on my 40th birthday at the park. And so the one I just did was with the golden sun and fertilizing our desires for the year. But what we do is we have all the participants join in on the year. So even though it's my year, my new year is my birthday, all the participants come together and we all do a clearing of what we don't wish to bring into our year. And then we bring into fruition, after we connect with our guidance system and our guides, what we desire, and how the sun is going to fertilize in our hearts, what our desires are. And then we really bring it in with all the different senses of seeing it, hearing it, smelling it, feeling it, so that we're really anchoring it into our body to be reborn altogether.
Wow.
So that's the alchemy birthday blessing.
Superb. And Dana, what kind of services usually you offer? If you could help us understand so that it will definitely be useful for the viewers and audience.
Yeah, so I do alchemical hypnotherapy sessions.
Mhm.
And most of the people, as you know, as a student of alchemy, like we can use this for anything. I tell people, like pretty much anything you want to resolve, empower, heal. But I find that it's all usually, even if somebody's an atheist, they're in touch with their higher self. So often it becomes a real spiritual, mystical experience for people. And sometimes, a lot of times, they're surprised if they just thought it was going to be like hypnosis with a script, and they'll assume it's kind of, a more clinical, rather than their own higher self receiving guidance from their guides or their archetypes, or even their loved ones that have passed on. Often those spirits of those who have passed on have been showing up even more in the sessions.
Wow.
And really, I think it's really helping people understand that life doesn't end in this life, that the spirit goes on. And so the alchemy sessions, and I help everything, but mostly creative people, or people that just want to be more authentic, show up, because I'm creative and I sing and do different artistic projects. So I'll help people like complete a screenplay, or do a concert or a recording. That's been a specialty of mine as well. So I created a program called Create Unleashed, where you really vision on what your artistic contribution is, and then clear all the stuff that's getting in the way of bringing it forward, whatever the project is. And so we work with dealing with sabotage, with dealing with these subpersonalities that may be in the way of creating, and then we launch it into the world in action and a physical anchoring. So I have a program, Create Unleashed, and then I also do classes, and I always include alchemical hypnosis in my medicine wheel teachings, which is the Celtic medicine wheel and the Native American medicine wheel, which is a whole season. I mean, a whole year cycle and season. So
So how can people reach out to you? What's your website and email address?
Yes, I have a website. I have healwithdianaruth.com, and that's my alchemical hypnosis and healer site. I also have artistscoach.com, and that's how to unleash your creativity in the world. And my email is D like Diana, Ruth hypnotherapy at gmail.com.
Okay, okay. So when spelling out your website address, please confirm if it's true. It's heal, HEAL, with WITH, Diana, DIANARUTH. Heal
Yes,
with DianaRuth.com. Right?
that's right.
Okay, okay. And your email address is Ruth, RUTH, hypnotherapy@gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dana. It was wonderful and fabulous talk with you. And there are several series of alchemical hypnosis interviews coming up, and I'm glad it started with you. And I'm looking forward to more and more conversations so that people get to know about alchemical hypnosis. And thank you once again.
You're welcome. This has been so wonderful to share with you.
Thank you. Bye,
Thank you.
Dana. Take care.
Bye. You too.